that's still something that I'm dealing with, honestly, still trying to figure out and navigate on a day-to-day basis, is how do I balance the need for joy, my own joy, the joy of my community, while also the dire, urgent need to materially help people and stop people's suffering. Um, and so I think this has required a lot of analysis of, again, my position. I think it often goes back to that, whenever we're faced with a question like this, you have to sit down and look in a mirror first. And so usually like the first protocol. And so it's required a lot of like analyzing what is my current position, right? Where have my focuses been in the past? So in the past, for a couple of years, actually I was involved in like American like nonprofit organizing, like progressive organizing, and campus organizing, electoral organizing, and issue organizing and stuff like that. And then late high school, like actually right after high school ended, well, when the pandemic ended high school, like is when I, again, more time to think, more time to analyze and self-reflect. I started to question whether a lot of the things that I did in high school that I thought, one, were meaningful, and two, things that I was supposed to be doing and things that I was told that this is how you make change. And who was telling me that? Where was that coming from? That narrative of this is how you make change. And so upon analyzing that, I really thought about and realized how a lot of the things that I was doing that I thought were good work were either materially not helping anyone, only helping a select few of people who probably didn't need it in the first place, or it was actually doing a net harm, right, to people. And so this required me to really just step back from a lot of the work that I was doing and just reanalyze, okay, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I feel like I should be doing? And what to me is helpful, and what is my responsibility based on my position. And so this question often goes towards like when you're asking yourself like, okay, what do I do? What is going to be my role? It goes into like, okay, what's going to be my job, right? And so being in that like middle of college stage when I have to like figure that out, that's a really big consideration. And then also I feel the responsibility like to my family of, even though I am, I'm anti-capitalist or I'm, whatever, they came to this country in order for us to be able to survive a little bit easier. And that's kind of that's the duty that they kind of imbued me with, right? And so is it my duty to like become a capitalist and like make sure my family is secure in order to like protect my own family? Or is that just further upholding these ideas of like, just like nuclear family, and I should only distribute my wealth among like those who are my kin and not my community and people who need it, and I should be investing only in myself, not other people. And so that has it has been a balancing act, and still has been a balancing act. But at the same time, I am also very excited, and I'm also learning a lot about the possibilities that are out there for work that can be done in the world, and the roles that I can play, and the ways that I can use my position to help people, and make an impact and materially improve the lives of people. What that is hard to answer, what that thing will be, or what I expect that it will be many things, because I hate the idea of what do you want to be when you grow up, as if you can only be one thing when you grow up. But I think as long as I am guided with the principles that I feel secure in, that feel instinct to me, I know that I'm living my truth. And I want to help people further live their own truths, and I think as long as I'm guided with those principles and I don't stray from them, the positive impact that I seek to make will be made. one way or another. Yeah.
My dad, it like loves the rain, you know, and that's such like a Tamil thing. Like, you know, you like pray to the rain, you like pray to the river, you like, there is so much not culture, there, well, like, yes, culture, but so much ritual around the water and the ocean and things like that. My parents have always passed that down to me. Like, I remember one of the first times in my memory of this, and like it was raining outside, and I like absolutely adore the rain. I'm in love with the rain. I like, well, I went outside and I was just jumping around in it, jumping in puddles, like having the best time. And I just heard my mom like, you know, like, Arpi, get back inside. Like, what are you doing? You're gonna catch a cold. And then I have to like, you know, and then you run inside and she's like toweling my hair like so hard and just like scolding me the whole time. But, you know, the whole time my dad was like, loved it. And he like, we had a whole moment and, you know, a little like co-conspirator moment. He was like, I also love the rain. And I used to do that when I was young too. And so there is these sort of like intimate moments of recognition, I think, between us and the land that happens when like you have a familiarity with the land that's sort of in your lineage, and then you're displaced or transplanted or have to go somewhere else. And I don't think that goes away. And I just think you have to look for it in different ways and new ways. And I'm still learning so much. And I've been so grateful to folks from like Turtle Island who have shared with me and given me like medicine and all that stuff. So yeah.
When I was younger, a lot of the kindness was not afforded to me. The people who were discriminating against me chose not to be kind. And I think what moved me to be so kind is moving down to the South. I think living in the American South, a lot of people have this, essentially like this stigma when it comes to race in the South. Constantly think like, oh my God, you're oppressed. And to be honest, with an immigrant background, middle class, yes, they do face discrimination, but so many other people have it much worse than I do. And the diversity and the community care here in the South, like the Southern hospitality, like that's not like a stereotype. Like that's a very real thing. So many people want to learn and to grow. And seeing those people that may not know as much or may have not been exposed to different kinds of people trying to learn and be kind has moved me to be more kind and less judgmental towards others.
Learning and sharing and just being in community with my people, and whether that be my family, friends, anybody who I'm close to and care about, like that is the best. So, and I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for these identities that we've been talking about. So I'm so grateful. Like, I'm just very grateful that
I just, love being able to surround myself with my South Asian peers, to, like have these discussions of, philosophical and political concepts that we learn in our classes, but just in Urdu or in Hindi without a tinge of English. I think one of the things that I found like really, really a lot of passion, and especially once I started reclaiming my identity, was just being able to speak a sentence of Urdu without a tinge of English. To me, it's like, okay, yes, this is what my like ancestors resisted against the British Empire for. This is beautiful. I absolutely love this.
Yeah, I feel most inspired by majority of the world. Because if you look at like our material human conditions, sorry to be like all Marxist, oh my God, but like if you really like look at it, like what is it, like 70 to 80% of people are like an oppressed people, a colonized people, like whose real rooted beliefs, pre-colonial beliefs, are beliefs of we exist to be strange, we exist to exist, right? We exist to be free and to grow just as things in nature grow without knowing why they're growing, right? They just do it, right? And they just flourish. And these are the beliefs that I feel like we should always be running by,